Thank you, everybody, for joining us again on Chamber Chat. We're excited to have with us today Rob, who is the owner of Seattle Sight and Sound. Rob, thanks for taking the time to be with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about your story, a little bit about Seattle Sight and Sound. How did it come to be? What's your your backstory?
Sure. My name's Rob. I own a company here in Magnolia called Seattle Sight and Sound. I got started in audio video work back when I was in high school. At the age of 16, I got a job working for Circuit City. I grew up in Florida, and I worked there through high school, a lot of college. And when they started kind of going out of business and down the tubes, I went to a couple of mom and pop shops. I was living in Jacksonville, Florida, going to college at the time. And I worked my way through college, and after finishing college, moved back to my hometown, where I managed a place for about 5 years, getting into the nitty gritty of how to run this business. So I decided back in 2013 to take a leap, get out of Florida, move out here, and start up before I got a real job. And I was lucky enough to make my own before I had to go get a real one. So it's been very fortunate in that manner.
That's a dramatic move from Florida to Seattle.
You know, it's funny. I kind of always go to a little bit of an extreme. Even in school, I decided to go from South Florida to University of North Florida. So I went as far away as I could without leaving the state. And I just kind of decided to follow the same, go as far away as I could from Florida without leaving the country.
Is there a big difference in running a business in Florida versus Seattle?
Seattle's a lot tougher. To be honest with you, there's a lot less, there's a lot more opportunity out here. I'll say that, but there's a lot less in the means of getting the people to help you build your business to what you really want it to become.
Right. And in regards to, you just talked about how tough it is. I'm sure in the last few months with COVID and stay home, stay safe orders and such, I'm guessing your business has been impacted like so many others. Has that been the case? And what have you learned?
We were shut down for a good solid while, from the end of March up until early June. We were pretty much twiddling our thumbs and not being able to do too much out there. But in the overall, people still have a demand for what we're doing. We're really busy at the moment. So, in the grand scheme of it, we're better off than most businesses, and we're very blessed to be that way right now.
Good. That's good to hear. So Rob, as a person, other than doing sight and sound, what's something, a hobby of yours, an interest? What's something unique about you?
So prior to COVID, I was an avid, softball and soccer player. Every week I was in a rec league, and I was always playing with friends pretty much year round. As of COVID happening, that's all been kind of put on the back burner. But my other pet project is that I have a 1.5-year-old baby at home. And it's been really nice to be able to spend a ton more time with her and get to know her as she's really, turning into a human now.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
One of the good things of this pandemic is the opportunity for many people to have more quality time with family. So treasure that for sure.
It's been nice to be able to take a step back and enjoy my time with her, where prior to COVID, I was really burning the candle at both ends. And it was nice to reflect and spend a lot more time with family.
That's great. So in your industry, I'm guessing it changes a lot. What are some of the new trends or new things in the industry today?
Every day, yeah. Every day the industry changes. There's new things coming out every month, every week, every year. And it can change the whole landscape of what we do. In the grand scheme of it, the biggest changes that we've seen lately is that smart home and connected home equipment has become more and more accessible to the general population. 10, 15 years ago, when I first got into this type of business, it was reserved only for people with $10,000, $100,000 budgets to get this type of stuff in their homes. Where nowadays, these things are a few $100s. They're sold to millions of people on Amazon.com and anywhere like that. And people are getting more and more exposed to that. And what I like to call them, smart devices, are somewhat gateway drugs because when you get into them and you start fiddling with them and you like the way that they operate, you kind of build off of that and you keep on going and you see how far you can go and how far you can go. And sooner than not, you have a full-fledged smart home. And, we're the type of people that love to work along with you in that process.
So for those that may not be aware of your business and your services, kind of describe some of the things you do.
Yeah. So it's hard to say Seattle Sight and Sound and know exactly what it is we do. But the way that I like to put it is we do audio, video, home theater, all the regular, low voltage electronics that you have through your home. But we also do everything from smart home systems to, electric blinds. We do lighting control systems and all types of things that are electronic around your house. I kind of say we do the stuff that the electrician is a little more dense on, and we kind of do the finesse work.
Nice. And then, one of the things we always like to talk to people about is the future. And we have a tendency in these times to look at COVID and the things it's taken away from us, but we like to look at the things that it's taught us. And, your example earlier of getting to spend time with your daughter, it was a great reminder to us. But outside of that, are there other things that you're hopeful for in regards to the future?
Yeah, I mean, we're to kind of put it in perspective. I think that we're all extremely fortunate for where we are, where we live, and what we do. In the grand scheme of it, there's not many better places to be than Seattle during some time that's crazy like this. So that being said, there's always kind of a little bit of demand for what we want. We don't see people leaving houses in any mass way or anything like that that's going to truly dampen our ability to do business. Yeah, things might slow down a little bit and things might tighten up, but what we're doing right now is leveraging partnerships with other companies around the area to make sure that we're all working at our full bandwidth right now. So the key for me since COVID is to work through collaboration a little bit more with people who one might think are competitors, but we're all out there doing the same thing and looking for the same results. So we really look forward to a future of collaboration with other companies around the area to be able to offer our services further and wider.
That's great. I'm thinking now about, you mentioned it earlier, home theaters. We've not been able to go to the movies now for 6 months. What a great thing to have a home theater to be able to strike on Friday night.
It's been a lot of, over the past few months, it's been a lot of work on customers that want to either upgrade their systems because they're at home using them a lot more, paired up with the customers that are at home using their existing systems a lot more that are breaking things. And the other thing that we're doing a lot of right now is a lot of networking jobs because a lot of kids are staying home from school and people are working from home and they need better Wi-Fi coverage around their house, faster internet, and things like that. So that's where we've been finding a lot of extra business leading our way recently.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well, before we say goodbye, if you don't mind, remind people how to find you physically, your website, if there's a way to follow you on social media, things like that.
So we have a showroom in the Inner Bay Work Lofts building, right over on 1631 15th Ave, just by the Whole Foods. We also are online at www.seattlesightandsound.com. You can also find us through Yelp, Facebook, and through the Chamber, obviously.
Awesome. Rob, thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for what you're doing. And again, congratulations on that daughter of yours and getting to spend that time. That's a treasure.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That. Take care.
You too. Take care.